everybody. I'm going to go to my blog post for today.
On my soul, working all day, overtime hours, bullshit.
Great song. Here's the markets. They finished that today. Dollar's down a little bit. Volatility's down. That's the VIX and the VXN. Dow Jones was up 250%. That can't be right. Oh, sorry, 0.68. 0.6. Up 250 points. Okay, so if you go to the root of the word debit, remember we all use debit cards when we go pay for something? We're always using debit, okay? And all that means, if you go back to the root of the word, or the Latin part of the word, debita fundi, okay? That's debts attaching to the soil and debts that affect the land. That's what that word means. They affect the land and they attach to the soil, okay? Quite literally. A debit card, a card used to pay for purchases by electronic transfer from the purchaser's bank account. Okay, the debitor, someone who has a legal obligation to someone else. And then there's the debitor, and then the debtor. It's basically just vice versa. Debitor and debtor, they're both exchanging debt. That's what it means. Okay, then the actual English version of debit, a sum charged as due or owing, especially a decrease in the amount of money in a bank account, as because one has withdrawn money from it. Second definition, a record that in financial accounting shows money to have been spent or to be owed, especially in bookkeeping, moneylenders, an entry made on the left side of the ledger or the account, noting an increase in assets or a decrease in liabilities. An account balance showing that something remains due to the holder of it, the holder of the account. And then a direct debit, an instruction that one gives to a bank to pay money directly from one's account, usually regularly, to a particular person, business, or other organization. And then debita fundi again. That's the root of debit. Debita, Latin, and Scottish law. Debts attaching to the soil, debts affecting the land. Okay, and that couldn't be more true. Just that little definition of the word debit. They really do affect the land. They affect the people on the land too. And then the debitum. Okay, in Latin means a debt. Okay, money or other thing that is actually owed, where there is both a duty and liability to repay, an actionable debt. That's debit. Debitum real, okay, Latin, a real debt, a debt on land, as distinguished from a personal obligation or debt. Okay? So there's all these fancy words that the bankers use to trick us, and it seems complicated, but it's really not. There should never be inflation on any currency or medium of exchange ever in history. It should stay at the same value no matter what. The only reason we see inflation is because they add taxes, duties, scutage, fiatments, feuds, fees, land tenures, interest, escrow. I could go on and on. They coined. The word coined means you invent something new, specifically words. So they've been able, and it tells the year they invented these words or these financial products right in the law dictionary. Okay, so it's the amount of fraud, okay, that's been perpetrated on the American people just through our money. It's astounding that nobody in charge really does anything about it. I mean, just for example, the reason you keep a currency or a medium of exchange at the same value, so it doesn't constantly go in dips or create bubbles and then bursts. Okay. Um, and then inflate. The word inflation. What do you do with like a balloon or like a bubble that your kids play with? What do you do with it? You inflate it. If you inflate it too much, what does the bubble do or the balloon? It pops because it has been inflated too much. It can't handle the pressure. That's exactly what's happening right now. Okay. Again, since the year 1900, this is a very generous number to give the Federal Reserve to. The American dollar is at 15,000% inflation since the year 1900. So from 1900 till 2023, 123 years, on average, that's about 122% of inflation per year. That means you're paying every year. You're going to pay double what you paid last year, basically, through the money supply. That's all that means.